What gets me about certain other Earths with DC's stuff, like Earth 11, where everybody's gender bent to whatever opposing role, um, they only use it when they want to go for, we're going to have a soapbox. Because with this, whatever the hell it's called, Future Slate, reskinned, whatever, um, yeah, they don't. If you want to build up an alternate Earth within your stuff, don't just pay it lip service. Build it up with a few maxi series or whatever. Um, this whole thing with the Super Sons being gender bent because of Earth 11, it just reminds me that in the mainline, they basically aborted them. They basically, gave Jon over to Bendis, and Bendis butt fucked him into oblivion. And yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put this on my channel, and I don't care. I'll never be monetized whatsoever. I'm too blunt. I curse too much, and I don't kowtow to the Church of Wokeness bullshit. If you're gonna make a character, make a character. Don't be like, this character is black. It hits all these check marks. It's like, no, just make a character. Make the skin color be irrelevant. You know, think about that last. Don't make it a black experience. Don't make it a white experience. Don't make it a Chinese experience. Don't make it a freaking Asian experience. That sort of thing. Make a character. Can they have some stuff from whatever background the writer is? Okay, sure. But good writers, like most of those in PulpRev, they bring that to the table to where it's just a showcasing a different culture rather than beating you over the head with a soapbox. You know, I don't even know where I'm going to put this. Maybe mini rants, but it's just it just screams like we want our little bonus wokey points for trying to get in other readers. It's like every time you do that shit, it just reminds me how you fucked over your main line continuity and everything else. You know, and right now they're even just like, oh, we're gonna just go off into YA land like most of BookTube. It's like, yeah, nope, nope, not for me, nope. See ya. I'm leaving the fucking door open and just walking out. Have fun trying to fill up the your mass grave there, DC. People live off of just grifting on them now in terms of like let's tear this stuff apart, and get some more rage clicks. And yeah, like there's a reason why gold and silver age stuff is worth more money to collectors, because that's back when those characters were more iconic, aspirational versions of themselves. You know, because I was watching a little bit of the American Pickers show yesterday. Just to ignore a lot of bullshit that's happening. Because the more I look at it, the more I'm like, you know what? Let's just have all the states, leave the union. That sort of idea. But they were looking through this guy's collection, and he had a bunch of the old Wonder Woman comics, back when they were like 10 cents and shit. And that's definitely worth some money, along with some of his old Batman and Superman stuff. And he had this particular collector also had a bunch of like DuckTales things, and all sorts of stuff from like the 50s and 60s as far as comics go. That stuff, anything from probably like the 20s up to the 70s, depending on what it is probably worth a pretty penny, provided you can keep it in pretty decent shape. So, it just proves that people rather own an iconic piece of American history and other things than just a cheap knockoffs that people do nowadays. Yeah. Again, if you're going to develop a Earth 11 thing, do a couple little mini series and stuff to kind of build it up and gauge people's interest. That's the thing. These companies do not test things to gauge people's interest at all. They're just like stick a thumb up our ass and then test the wind and see which way it's farting. Like, oh, lovely. Now, would I have loved to see a Supergirl like Lois and Clark having a daughter too? Yeah, and with John being the bigger brother. Like that's the reason why I have like sibling stuff like that in a protocol. I want to see certain kinds of growth with some of these characters in terms of like not changing their personality or forcing them from flat arc to whatever else, but giving them a little bit of, different, slightly different situations. Superman being a dad for a while would have been great. So that's what I'm doing with Upload Protocol. You know, I know I haven't gone in very extremely in depth yet. It's because it's a whole entire serial, guys. Like there's certain plot threads that I'll pick up later and bring them back to the fore. Pretty soon you're going to see a pretty Murphy centric like issue where Anna brings Star onto her show to try to, kind of bolster her flagging or ratings and stuff, and it's going to have the Murphys in the audience, and then yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna just have a whole lot of dynamics that I really wish I would have seen more with Superman. Raising a family, but in this case, Thomas Murphy's gonna take a bit of that role, uh, and there are also going to be some issues where it's going to be like Thomas playing off of his sons. Eventually, I'm going to develop more stuff because again, we got a whole entire series to go through. So don't worry, more of those little family moments will be in there. But I'm also building up like the mystery and other hooks and other themes that are running throughout the series, throughout the seasons, throughout each book in and of themselves. I mean, I'm just trying to think to myself, other than a handful of things I'm reading on the side, and I also do have some stuff pre-recorded. It's just that I'm learning to basically put stuff in the crock pot basically and then release it later so that way there's a steady stream of content. But yeah, like if yeah, guys, like seriously, it is really going to be up to us to create new things and try to supplant, you know, these dead IPs that they really don't give a shit about us at all, people. They don't. DC is going to become basically Scholastic Light. That's what I see happening. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom surrounding comic books, but you know what? There's viable alternatives to embrace. It might not always be in a comic book shop, but the way you can help them out is like just buying their back stock. Because the big companies really don't care whether or not they live or die. The big companies are being buffeted by, their subsidiaries' money right now. That's the reason why they don't really care what audience they cater to. It's just a bunch of what if money to see what other rejects they can put up in Hollywood. But that stuff's coming to an end as well. I mean, we lost three or four theaters within the past few months here. More people are starting to convert to drive-in theaters and watching older movies, because again, there's like not much coming out right now from the Hollywood side of things, and some big releases are being pushed back till like next year. I guess they want to see how many freaking theaters will be around in 2021 or even 2022. We're probably within the next 5 years, we're going to see a lot of different shakeups within different various mediums, maybe even including books. You just never know. I'll see you later, everybody.